started the project, I had these demos and started showing them to Andy Davis.
I was living downtown in LA, and he came over and had these voice memos and different songs that were in different stages, but they had this kind of Western surf, desert rock kind of vibe to them, and a light went off like, okay, this could work.
We kind of started collaborating and doing some songs together, and they felt really good. And it was really fun. The songs sounded cool, and I think Andy suggested that we make a record, and I knew that I had a lot of friends that were really talented at studios and all the resources to make a record, and it was like, well, why not? Let's make a record.
But they all seemed to have this kind of cohesive concept to it, so we went from off of that and sort of started kind of being like, oh yeah, it'd be cool if this song kind of fit this role, this song fit this role, and then suddenly it kind of looked like a roadmap for the record to go on. And I think conceptually and like aesthetically, we kind of had an idea of where we wanted to keep some guidelines around it. We were jokingly calling it Mexican surf country as a way to sort of keep ourselves in certain little boundaries and saying like, okay, we can go down this pathway, but let's make sure it fits as a family.
It's just that, or maybe you could hit the note with the Celeste thing that's kind of going like, you know, you do the F. I like the high voicing, you know.
So Patrick Matera on the guitar, Josh Moreau on bass. These guys are incredible, and that they played together a lot in Katy Perry's band, which Noah played for Katy Perry a long time ago, back when she was first starting out. Played steel and would sit in with her, so it was kind of like this old friends that wanted to be a part of the project for a long time. Joey was a perfect fit on drums because it was very unique. He brought, it's not like a drum part that anybody could have played. It sounds like Joey playing.
We recorded with some really cool drums, and working with Josh and playing side by side with him was great.
And it was just cool because of bringing in friends and bringing in people I had worked with before in the past. Everyone started to collaborate, you know, and really add to the project.
That one seemed a little bit more in the pocket. Yeah. Instead of you playing both of the parts, do one on there and one with a piano or whirling, you know? Mm-hmm.
All the basic tracks kind of live as a band, so they sort of developed together in the room as we were sitting there, which a lot of them ended up a lot quieter and more gentle than maybe we initially would have thought, but they just sort of evolved into what each song needed, and they're kind of became a theme of this like sort of desert western surfy sound to the whole record. I always tell people it's like Elliott Smith in the desert.
You know, a large part of the sound came when we brought in John Rausch to mix on the record, and also to engineer on the second half of the record. The sound was a little bit more clear than it was at the beginning, and John helped dial in a lot of these songs like Golden Days and all, you know, these songs that like have this really rich drum tones to them, that he was a part of the engineering process there and mixing the whole record.
Instead of us demanding that the record had to be done a certain way in a certain time, because we let the record just kind of have a life of its own and do its thing, I feel like the record's been so much better. We didn't say it has to be done this day and that's it. I mean, we did set deadlines, but we kind of let life dictate what was happening, and I think because of that, we ended up with, I think we ended up with a really cool record.